Hi everyone, and welcome to this new video, to this new interview. This time we have a beautiful woman called Aisha Malika Sai, right?
Sí, Aisha Malika Zai.
She's from England. She's 25 years old. She's younger. To be honest, I meet her today and I decided to interview. I asked her and she said, I'm ready. So
Maybe
thank
30
you.
minutes ago we meet and then we like, you like to interview people? I like to interview people. Okay, we do the video.
So now we are here with you guys. So I just want to start asking some questions, and then you can know her. We can know even more about his culture, and also the language. Why it's important to learn a new language, and so on. So
Okay.
thank you so much. How are
Well,
you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are
Yeah,
you?
excited, excited.
Okay, well, we continue from where we left off, just
Yes,
about
yes, yes.
where we are now, maybe Mexico.
Okay. So we were talking about how our cultures are different. She's from England, I'm from Mexico, and so I would like to ask her, like, what have you seen during this time here in Mexico that the culture is different than yours?
First of all, first I actually want to speak about something about Mexico I that I was told. So before coming here, I was told a lot of different ideas about what Mexico is like, about what the people are like, and a lot of these things. And it's like, yes, I'm said, be careful in Mexico, of course. But when I come here, the biggest difference I see is just the community. It's like how warm people are. And like you have the plaza, when people go, there's just places to just meet up and talk, and there's food. When the sun goes down, like the children start to play or the food stores open up, like it's just so nice. Like everyone's so happy, there's singing, there's dancing, there's drinks, everybody is just happy. And even when there's places where maybe I know people is struggling for money or poor and things like that, it's like people are still full of life. And that's something that in London, like, we do not have, like, at all. So in London, first of all, it's cold and wet, and I'm just talking about London, not all of England, but the weather is the same. But the culture in London, it's very disconnected. Like, we don't really have places to just hang out
No?
together. No, like what people do is they work all week, and then at the end of the week they go to a pub, which is like just a bar to drink.
Mm-hmm.
And really that's the only thing. Like, of course, people go to the gym, people go to work and all of these things, but there's not really like a open space. Like, we
Mm.
have parks, but that's just kind of to walk your dog and to
Mm-hmm.
just have maybe a picnic with your friends, but it's not really somewhere where you can meet people. um when we have like a family, it's like everybody is so busy with work that nobody has time to meet, to talk and to have fun. Everybody is so tired from working every single day, every single day, every single day, that by the end of the week, the rest of the money just goes on drinking. And also, with in terms of like money, so people will hear like the salary, let's say, is like £2,500 per month, which, how much is this? About 5,000? I'm not sure in Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. If 100 Mexican is like £5.
But I mean, that is enough for living, just for living, or just for
So,
living, but also to spend time
in
outside.
London, £2,500. Let's say you make the rent. For you to have like a two-bedroom apartment,
All right.
you're looking at like 2,000 per month, or like one-bedroom apartment would be like £1,800 per month. So okay, you make the 2,500, then you spend the 1,800 on your rent, and then you spend the 300 on food, and then you spend the 40 for your internet, the £100 for your phone, and it's like you make the money,
To
but
live.
you don't. Yes, it's just to survive. And if you earn more than like 50K, 40% is tax to the government. um People really do struggle there. Like, sometimes in the months you have to decide, like, are you going to pay for the food, to have all the food, or are you going to pay for your water, are you going to pay for your rent, or it depends on your situation. It's very hard to kind of get out of this hamster wheel,
Yeah.
and because of that, people are very stressed, and they're like robots. All people do when they're not working is go on their phone like this, or watching Netflix, or just drinking. Like there is no other life other than that, and it's quite sad. Also, because we don't have sun, I think about 260 days out of the year we don't have sun. It's gray skies. So everybody suffers from vitamin D deficiency. There's a lot of depression in a lot of European countries. It's not like Mexico at all. So when people say yes, I want to go, it's nice. Like if you want to make the money and send it back, and live there for like 3 years and go back. But to really have a life and a family there, I don't think it's not. I don't think it's the best place. You know.
Yeah. So, during this time being here, what did you do?
So the whole time I was here is I spent 3 weeks at a hostel, and I've been speaking with people from all over the world, like honestly all over the world. Well, a lot of people from different places in Europe, the United States, different countries in Latin America, and I have I have learned a lot. I've really enjoyed like understanding politics of their countries and the systems of their countries and how different things work. Of course, in Mexico as well, I've made a lot of Mexican friends, so I've kind of got a bit of an idea about Mexico as well, like the good parts, the bad parts, and everything else. So yeah, I've just been learning.
So, do you think that this is dangerous?
I think that is a much more like layered answer than just yes, it's dangerous or no, it's not dangerous. I think Hmm. What I don't like is the narrative that okay, yes, to come to Mexico is so dangerous. Is this? Because I think sometimes tourists they like to stay in this bubble, and I don't really. I'm not a big fan of that idea of like, oh, you just must speak with other people who are traveling because don't go to the local Mexican bar because that's unsafe because you will get kidnapped. And it's like, no, no, see, we this is really what people say, and it's like
Yeah.
to me it's like no, I'm in Mexico, I'm making friends with Mexicans because I am in Mexico, and I feel comfortable, I feel happy, I feel warm. But sometimes people do like other tourists, they'll be like, but why is it so dangerous? You must just go to Congo bar, you must just go to the very famous bars. I don't like that. I want to actually live, like live here, call it my home for a bit,
Hmm.
and not just be like, oh yes, Mexico, cheap tequila, cheap this, yes, fiesta every day. No, like if you come to a country, you have to see the good things, but you also have to see like how the people are really living.
Hmm.
Because imagine like somebody is struggling for food, and I say, oh, everything is here, it's so cheap, it's so cheap. They'd be looking at me like, what? Like this is not good. So I think dangerous. I think there's two sides to every story. Things like petty crime and all of this kind of stuff. I think sometimes tourists, especially, are stupid. Like you don't go anywhere really carrying like so much money on you. If you know you're in Mexico, why are you drinking on the street? And you know it's so illegal here. You know how the police are here, but you still do it because I can do it because I'm a tourist and I call my embassy and they can't do anything to me. I think that mindset is not the best. So sometimes I think it just win. What is this saying? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It's kind of how I see it.
Okay, and now I would like to know, like, if you wanna meet people in your country, what I supposed to do? Like, it's my first week in England, and I said, oh, I would like to
Mm.
meet people, just to talk with him and hang out.
I think like places where people share hobbies. So like if there is something you like to do, to go to those kind of places. Like I don't know how to tell you because my experience in London is very much you come out of your house to do something. Like you going because you need to go somewhere. You're going because you need to go. Like
Mm,
London is very everyone's just going in their directions. Mostly people meet in like clubs and bars. That's like the most common way.
mm,
um Things like coffee shops, you can, but that's really we don't have like this open space like you guys have.
mm.
So we don't it's a very commuting area. Everybody's either going to work, coming back from work, or they're going to the gym, or they're going to do
Mhm.
shopping. It's never really And a lot of times people don't really come out of their
Esta
house.
Navidad, compra con envíos en
Because-
24 horas.
We will be back after the break.
Yes. Oh, now we have song. We have music behind in the background because we are in a cafeteria. That's why. Sorry. Keep moving. And so, what were you saying?
Just that there is if you do want to meet people, I think it's good just to be outside and be present, not to be on your phone, because this is another thing. Everybody really is like this. And I think when you kind of just, look up, maybe it's more open to human connection, which I notice in Mexico is like, what, people aren't really on their phones like this. People are outside, smiling, walking, saying good morning. That's another thing. Saying like buenos dias, buenas tardes, it's so normal here. In London, it's not like this. You don't really say good morning to people. You just walk past.
Okay, now we have more videos in the background. It's part of the
Experience.
experience, you know. Okay, and so tell me more about your story. Like you said, like your mother is from Poland.
Yes, so my mom is from, yes, she's from Poland, and my father is Afghan and Persian, so he's from Afghanistan. Yes, my mom moved to London when I was young, and then I've just stayed there.
So they met there.
They met in Poland. So my father, he was a refugee from Afghanistan
yeah.
because there was a lot of war there. His father got he was like a general fighting against Taliban. This was like back in the 80s, 90s, I'm not too sure. And he got killed by Taliban, and then my father's younger brother got killed as well. So my dad escaped to Poland. He had a lot of like PTSD, a lot of like trauma from what happened.
Yeah,
Of course. Yeah. So he met my mom. They got married, had me. But then my mom left my dad because with PTSD sometimes it can cause problems. People be drinking to like cope with it and stuff like that. So then my mom moved to London. Well, I stayed with my grandparents in Poland for my first like 4 years of my life, and then I went to London to live with my mom. So I don't really have a relationship with my dad, and then my mom, we don't talk at the moment, but she's there. Like she has two sons, two young boys, 11 and 9, and my dad has two daughters, aged 7 and 5, I think. But I haven't met the girls. I've met the boys. Yeah. Oh, if you want to get into my story, we'll be here all week.
Yes. Okay, so I would like to ask you, what do you think that is important to learn, for example, for you, Spanish? What will be the reason to learn Spanish for you besides English? Even though like English is your mother language, but what do you think is always good to learn a new one?
I mean, well, how I learned Spanish is because I have to, like, put myself into situations where I have to speak. I don't have an option to say, oh, do you speak English? Because it's just, no, speak Spanish. I think it's important because I think, funny thing, I didn't speak a word of Spanish when I came, like zero. And since I've started to like understand, like I'm learning Spanish like a child. Like first I'm listening to people talk, then I'm starting to understand certain words, and then obviously I start to speak, and then I understand like the grammar and stuff like that. But it opens up like a whole new portal. It's like now when I hear people speak and I can kind of understand what they're saying, I'm just like, whoa, like the way they communicate is different. The way they talk about life is so different because you have your own humor, your own slang, your own way of saying things. And I think when you learn the language, it's like you become connected more to the people. Rather than if I tell you speak English with me, like to people that speak Spanish, you can't really translate what you want to say.
Yeah.
Like with your heart.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And what I love about Spanish is Spanish people, they speak with their heart, like Spanish speaking. It's like, and I talk with my hands so much. So when it's like we understand each other so well.
Right.
You see, there was this boy. He's staying at the hostel as well. We met 3 weeks ago. When I met him, he didn't speak any English. He met me, I didn't speak any Spanish. And now me and Kim have like the same level. So he have the same level of English as my Spanish. And the more like every time we talk, it's like, whoa, we're getting like better and better and better. And it's just such a nice experience to learn a new language. Yeah.
when was it? What is it? When was the first time that you learned Spanish? Like the first time that you remember a word in Spanish.
I mean, when I came here, I knew like just lo siento, no hablo español, tú hablas inglés, por favor. Like I just knew like gracias and buenos dias. But I think the first kind of things were like survival words. So things kind of like what time is it or like donde, like where. For example, I wouldn't learn a full sentence. I would know that donde means where. So sometimes if I don't know how to build the sentence, I would say like donde es supermercado. Like I will kind of like try to mix and match, or I will say like tienes. I know it means like
Ha-
do you have,
Uh-huh.
and then I would like demonstrate what I'm talking about. And
Mhm.
another an important one was cómo se dice, because for me I'll be like cómo se dice, and then you can tell me
Yeah.
what it means. Or if you speak English, you can tell me how to say it in Spanish. So that was like the first kind of experience I had with Spanish, is just to learn like just the not the vocabulary, but just the to
Words.
build the sentence.
To build the sentences.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I was just telling her that the first time that I decided to learn English was after pandemic
Mhm.
because I wanted to learn the language because I wanted to travel because I wanted to move to Cancun also because I said if I'm gonna go to another place another state I need to learn the language because of the job because of
Of course.
the need to communicate with more people. So that helped me to study like 4 hours every day, 8 hours Saturday and Sunday, like in a year. I started in March, and I had my first conversation in December. Like, hi, my name is Sarah. How are you? Like the basic questions, and then I decided like, oh, I need to learn like five different words, and then listening to the radio and recognize them, how they were telling. Even though at the beginning I didn't understand anything, and after time was easier for me to understand what they were saying. Um, Also translating songs from Taylor Swift.
I love
I
it.
love
I
it.
love it. I love it. So, can I ask you a question? Because you like study so much, do you feel like it made you like more or not scared to make like a mistake when
No,
you're talking?
I didn't have fear to make a mistake.
Okay,
And
because
every
that was my fear. Like, oh, if I learn so much, and then I'll be thinking in my mind, like, how do I say it? And I'll be scared to say it.
no, because you know what? I had three friends of mine. She's a coach. Um, I have a friend who was not right now, who was a coach. Another one was a woman from Texas, and then Haley. She was a girl learning Spanish from Chicago. And every time that I used to see them in a meeting, like on Zoom, it's like 20 minutes in Spanish and 20 minutes in English. So every time that I express what I did last weekend, what I did with my family, they try me to give me feedback. Like, no. It's not like thank you. It's thank you. Like, move your tongue in this position and everything. So I was happy every time that they told me how to move my tongue, how to
And how to
say,
pronounce.
how to pronounce them. So I said, like, I don't have fear. Like, just tell me what is wrong with my English, and then I'm gonna fix it, and then I keep moving. And that's it.
So how was your like? What did you study at first? Like, what were like the first things that you studied? Was it grammar or the words?
Was it the alphabet? The
Huh.
alphabet, like really. I mean, I go to the store, I buy my first notebook, and I say, "This is English, lesson one with the book my vocabulary." Right, and then the lesson was the first time it was the alphabet. then the colors, then the verb to be, like, and then I bought some books. I bought, I guess, 4 books, and then I decided, like, okay, this lesson is different parts of the car. I don't even have a car, so it, like, gives more, like, the fruits. Okay, just I'm gonna remember some fruits, some, like, the more things that I think that was important for me to speak it in your daily uh, day, because there are a lot of vocabulary, but sometimes there are words that you never use it, and then you are wasting time trying to remember words that you will never, you will not
I heard something like a
use it.
regular conversation uses just about 300 words per day. Like when we speak, we just use the same
Yeah.
300 or so words.
Yeah, so I did that. So after a year, I was I was experiencing my first time talking in a classroom in front of Germans and Americans teachers for the first time in English, and I was like, no way. And a friend of mine, she asked me, like, hey, do you want to speak about your country, about your culture, how is culture business, how people they meet and everything, and they said, oh, okay. So when I was in a classroom, like, before, I asked to the teacher, like, how many students they will be in the classroom. They say, I don't know, it can be like 10, it can be like 30, 100, like, we never know. And it was like, oh, okay. So 1 minute before, I was in the bathroom, and it was, oh my goodness, what I did. So I didn't want to do it, but at the end of the day, I was in the classroom, so I said, oh my goodness, help me. So I broke the ice, just smiling and saying whatever. So that gave me confidence to be in front of them, just speaking, laughing, and that is my skill
Were
to
you
make.
surprised at like how well you spoke? Like were you
After that,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness, it wasn't like a relief, like, 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 I can't believe it that I did that. And so I was talking with a friend, and she told me, you know what? The only way to overcome the fear is just do it.
Do it.
Because you will see that is nothing behind that. Nothing. It's your mind just. It's your imagination telling you what is gonna happen that probably cannot happen, but the control you have it in your mind, like what it's your intention to happen in this situation, like to do my best. Okay, then you are gonna do it. But if you're thinking like, oh no, I'm afraid. Also, I'm
And
not
then you
afraid.
never will do it. That's the problem. And then your brain will tell you, see, you have a good reason to not do it because you're afraid. But if you just do it, you're right. What is the worst thing someone will do? Correct you, or
Yeah.
I've noticed these people are so helpful. I have noticed like there are a lot of people that they want to help you learn, and I think like if I didn't try speaking with people, I think I would never know that people actually do want to help, because I did think for me like learning Spanish in England was quite hard because no one around me spoke Spanish. Whereas here it's like okay, I'm hearing it all the time, so it's But I like what you're saying about the to write about the colors and the numbers and the days.
I have
and
my
thinking.
notebooks at home. At
But
home in Veracruz.
did you just decide okay today I want to learn colors, or did you like look up any kind of program or
No, no,
anything
no.
like this?
At the beginning, I said I need to learn the basic. Like the basic is are the colors, the alphabet, the um, basic questions, the main verbs, like 100 verbs. So I used to write down in my notebook, like regular verbs, irregular verbs, like in present past and past participle, just to remember. Then the structure, like past participle, like I have seen, yo he visto. So I needed to remember like everything, all the verbs, writing down every sentence in present past, past participle. And like I was crazy. I had a in that moment a boyfriend, and he told me like, "You're in your world. Everything is in English. Like you need to speak more." Like I said, like I'm speaking in Spanish the whole day. I need
You're
to
starting
speak.
to forget the Spanish because you're trying to speak in English so
Yes.
much.
Yes.
Look, I writing just some like this was at the beginning, but just some little like things just to get familiar. But
Oh.
really, I find it hard to memorize.
Look at this. she was learning Spanish. So he has their own like sentences like ¿Cómo te va? How's it going? uh, ¿Qué has estado haciendo? What have you been up to? This is a yeah.
It's
Uh,
conversational
Hace
kind of
mucho
stuff.
que no te veo. Long time no see. Yeah. So I used to do this, but you know what? In a context, like I used to in my book, I had like conversations in the cafeteria, in the shop, in the small,
Oh.
in different places. They integrated those phrases. It's better
Mhm.
than a list.
Yes, yes, because this is
You're
kind of
welcome.
all over. No, thank you, really, because this is all over the place. I'm just like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, which one? Wait, un momento, un momento. So I
Yeah,
like this, yes, like in a shop or if you're asking for something.
yeah,
Or okay, no, this is a good idea.
yeah.
Maybe
So
you have to borrow me your book so I can take the notes.
yes, and I decided to do that. Then I love too much English, and then I decided to teach it because when I was at home, I was just taking some videos, translating some videos, and then one of our neighbors was like, "What is your daughter doing?" She asked to my mother, and she said, "Oh, she's just learning English." And I was talking in English in a Zoom meeting, and the neighbor said like, "Oh, would you like to teach to my son? Like he wants to learn English." And I was like, I was nervous. You know, my first payment like 30 pesos, like $1, around $2. uh, and I said, "Oh, okay, so like $2 one class, like $2 one class." And then I had, after I had four or five children in the same house, and they were speaking English, and I had videos, and I was so proud of myself because you know what, like, oh my goodness, I was able to learn the language on my own, and then I was able to teach it.
I think it also solidifies it so much more in your mind once you teach it to somebody else. And also, it's good for your confidence because you're like, wow, like I can actually teach you a language. That is beautiful. One day, I hope. But 2 years, you said you've been speaking English?
Yeah, since no, 3 years. 1 year learning, like to um, 2022 to 2023, and then 2 years speaking it. Like this, currently I'm working in a call center where you call to people from the US, like, "Hey, hi, this is Sarah, just calling you from where?"
This is amazing.
Like 300 calls every single day, cold calls, like not easy, right? Like breaking the ice with
Jeez.
clients, like it's not like I had a friend. He told me, "Oh, that is so it doesn't make sense just just speaking like a robot." And I said, "I'm not like a robot. Like I need to create connection with people.
Of course.
Like, hey, how are you doing? I'm doing well. Okay." And they say like, "What? How are you doing?" And I say like, "Oh, you know what? I'm just working. Even though it's my birthday." They say, "Oh no, where your birthday?" They say, "Oh, happy birthday." So they allow you to keep going. Like, what are you saying? "Oh, I was just calling you because this."
I like that because it's like you also in English and in Spanish, you have different expressions as well. So once you actually learn the expressions, it's like you connect with people on a deeper level, like you said, because it's not like a robot. Like a
Yeah.
robot is like there is no connection. It's like you're speaking of Google Translate, you know. But that's amazing that you did that in total of 3 years, I guess. Like that is crazy.
Yes. A friend of mine also, Sharon. She is an English coach. She lives in Germany, and I met her online one day. I was just asking in a Facebook group, and I asked what is the difference between go away, far away, run away. I don't. English is crazy. I don't understand
Sometimes
that.
it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
And she asked me just in Messenger, and she was like, "Oh, this is the meaning of this, and this is the meaning of this." And then we continued um, talking, and then we created a good connection. And then one day she invited me to a group of women. They were talking about the law of attraction. I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that.
Damn.
No. And she said like, "Hey, if you wanna come, you can. Yeah, you can come here." And we are posting some pictures about the things that would like to do in the future. And I posted like a clock that I had, and I said, like, they asked me what is the meaning of your clock, and I said, like, it's because I would like to travel one day. And she said, you know what, like, would you, what are you gonna do? Like I said, like, I would like to go to Europe, but I don't know where, because I would like to go with a family, like to know the family, the place, and just to feel safe. And she said, like, oh, if you wanna come, I mean, my house is open for you. I was like, no. And I said, I mean, I think just 5 days, and they say, I'm gonna go. I was saving that year money because I have in my mind that one day I will travel. And then I did it, and she invited me to this school to do they call it lecture.
See.
Yeah, lecture. And said, yes, I'm ready. So I did it.
And when was this? This was.
That was in 2022. That was in 2022.
Okay. So that was like the beginning of
It
your
was my
journey.
first trip, actually, also.
Wow.
In a
But the
plane.
law of attraction is,
Also.
but also that law of attraction is definitely real, because even now I'm saying, you know, if you want to come to London, it's like this type of thing. When you open your mind for it, you start to be surprised, because if you're stressing like, how am I gonna get to Europe? Like, who am I gonna stay with? How am I gonna get the money? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? That's, you're blocking yourself from the fear. But when you say no, I know I want to go to Europe, I know I want to travel, random things will happen, and it will just come right in front of you. Like, oh wow, like, where
Yes.
did this come from? But it's also what I wanted to say. You being able to like have these kind of conversations about like law of attraction and things like this. For me, this is how I kind of measure like the level of my learning, because I want to be able to have like philosophical discussions or discussions about politics and things like that. I think that that is when learning a language like really gets beautiful, because you're actually forming and sharing ideas, and not just kind of like, oh, you know, how do I get to the shop and da 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 da.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
But you know what? I think that sometimes that helped me a lot is to ask to myself, okay, what I wanna speak about what? And I said, oh, I would like to speak about the law of attraction, meditations, um, self development. So I used to read many just information or books about them, and then I had all the info, all the verbs, all the adjectives and everything. Just I recollect, like just I took it.
That's exactly what I wanted to do. So basically, there are a few books that I've read in English that I really like the self-development book, like Atomic Habits, like 12 Rules of Life, just little books like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
And I went to the papelería. No,
Librería,
sí.
bookstore.
And I go in there and I see like the same books, and they're in Spanish. I'm like, okay, I need to buy it. I still need to go and buy it, but I'm thinking to buy the book and actually read it and start to understand, because then when I'm talking, like you said, you understand the context, the things you want to
Right.
talk about.
Yeah, yeah, because you can reckon. Oh, okay. I think that I'm gonna use this verb every time that I have a conversation about this. Like it's like in spirituality. Like, oh, I like to speak about them and say, oh, what I need to learn. Oh, vocabulary like nature, connection, souls, angels. Everything related with that. So if you wanna speak about your daily life, you need to learn like, oh, what do you do every day? Drink coffee, wake up, wash the dishes. So it's just be conscious what are those phrases or verbs that you use in your own language, and then just to translate it in the language that you want to speak it. That's it. And then created conversations about it. And then you can use it the IA, because I used to teach English also online because I like it. Just because I like it. And one day I'm gonna have my own online school, I think.
Oh, I think you should. What do you mean you think? It's starting.
Yeah. Now, subscribe here.
Subscribe, like, and subscribe right now.
And yes, so I was saying that if you decide, I mean, if you decide to learn the language, and in different situations, it's just think about what do you want to speak, in what environment also you want to be, and then just go for it and learn it. So, for example, in the past, I was teaching about the the feelings. So I created like stories where you can use the feeling. Like, for example, both girls talking about their relationship with their boyfriends. And they said like, "Hey, how are you? I'm so sad. You know, why are you so?" You know, you can just exchange different feelings.
So did you use like did you just write or did you I know you listened to like the radio, but did you watch like YouTube videos or anything?
Also, I used to translate Taylor Swift because I love her. I used to have a notebook just for Taylor Swift interviews, Taylor Swift
Interview.
songs. I know her life.
¿Cómo se dice Swifty en español?
50. I don't know. You know what? It's interesting. I'm a, pero
Swifta.
there is no that word in Spanish. But it's funny because it's like the word get in Spanish. There is nothing. There is
Like
nothing
to
that
get.
related. Like get it. Like I understand. Get it. Like, I have it. Like I get
See,
you.
like different slang, of course. See?
That sometimes there is phrases like you don't have it or we don't have it in our language. So it's funny because like a Swifty, we don't have it. Like no, just I'm Swifty. But you can have the same word in English, but we don't have it in Spanish.
That's why I try well just from learning with speaking to people I try not to before I speak I try not to exactly translate it from English to Spanish because I know that the order will be wrong, so I just try to kind of like I know that I need to say this part in Spanish first, then I know that for example how do I explain it like rojo manana is apple, right?
Eh?
Like
Banana?
manana, how you say
Mañana? Tomorrow?
no mañana, apple.
Manzana.
Manzana.
Uh-huh.
Sí. So it's like we would say red apple, but in Spanish it would be manana rojo. ¿Sí?
Manzana roja.
Manzana rojo. So it would be
Roja,
apple
roja.
roja. See,
Uh-huh.
that's another layer. It would be apple red.
Uh-huh.
And then of course it's feminine as well. English, I don't think they don't do masculine and feminine so much. So even these things is like I try to think in Spanish. When I'm speaking, when I'm listening to people, I try to think. So then when I speak, I'm not exactly translating it because if I translate it, I will get it in the wrong order. So I'm trying to learn how to build my sentences in the Spanish way, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's working, but I need to do more actual studying as well because just talking is not enough.
Yeah, I mean that is fine to write down like some questions and sentences, but I think that in a context, like in a conversation, like if you have a conversation where you can put those phrases and questions, it's easier to learn it. Like it's like it's like for example, let's talk about I don't know, let's talk about self care. So if we are gonna talk about it, we need to learn like the verb eat, like what you eat, or uh, makeup,
See,
or exercise, exercise, like everything related with that topic. So then you apply it, you learn it, you use also the vocabulary, like the gym, like the nouns, everything.
you're thinking of teaching Spanish?
Huh?
You're thinking of teaching Spanish? I think your English. If you can teach English, you can teach the Spanish as well.
I think
Maybe. Yes, we'll exchange numbers.
we can
get the lesson.
exchange. We can. Yes. Yeah. So I think that it's better. I mean, you are doing well. You are doing well.
That's just English.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
But I used to have this. I used to have also my notebook, where I used to just write down everything that I used
I
to.
have. Wait, I have
remember.
actually. Somebody write this for me. I don't. It's not correct, but maybe because they're from Chile, it's different. But I got Pedrito clavó un clavito. ¿Cuántos clavos clavó Pedrito? And tres tristes tigres tragaban en un trigal. ¿Cuántos tigres tragaban en un trigal? And camarón.
¿Qué es
Desde el camarón a Melo.
¿Qué?
But I don't think this is correct because someone said it's caramel.
Camarón desencamaronamelo. No, no, it's
What is the one?
camarón
Camarón,
caramelo. And then, yeah,
Camarón,
and then you
caramelo,
repeat it
camarón,
again.
camarón,
And then, yeah.
In English, we have this one: red lorry, yellow lorry.
Red lorry, yellow lorry.
And then you say it
I
again.
just give me a British one.
That's the British.
This is a British one.
See, red lorry, yellow lorry.
Red lorry, yellow lorry.
And then you do
Red
it
lorry,
faster.
yellow lorry. Red lorry, yellow lorry.
That's actually really good.
Yeah.
I'll give you another one. I think you have a Spanish version of this one as well.
Who wrote down this?
Maybe some guy that was in the hostel from Chile. So she
sells
seashells
at the seashore. She sells seashells at the seashore.
Nearly, yes. You said seashells.
But it's always to learn these twisters.
Tongue twisters.
To move your tongue,
Sí.
to pronounce them, to do the movements, and also there is a coach who always said it's always to warm up your mouth before to speak the language. And for English, she used to say like you need to move your tongue like all your. She said she's from the new. She is from I don't know if she's from Afghanistan or some areas around, but she went to LA because she wanna be an actress, and then they didn't take it, I think, because her English, and then she was learning a lot English, and now she's an English coach.
I've noticed a lot of people fall in love with languages.
Yeah.
I think once you get into it, you're really like, wow, languages are so interesting.
At the end of the day, you fall in love.
Especially like Polish is my first language. So to me, it's like, for example, in English, cousin, it doesn't matter if it's a male cousin or a female cousin. But in Polish, we have kuzyn, which is a male, and kuzynka, which is a female cousin. So it's like just by one word, we know like if it's a female or a male. And also by just one word, same as Spanish, we know if I'm talking about myself, yourself, them, us. So we don't need to say they are. We just say me, or we just say jesteśmy. Like, how do I explain? Bitch. The word bitch means, not bitch, bitch means like to be. But then I could say ja byłam, so I was. Ja będę, I will. Ja jestem, I am. But then it would be like ty jesteś, ona jest, on jest, oni by byli. Like there is so many, like Polish is a very difficult language because just from one word, you can have easily 15, 20 different ways of saying that word depending on if you're talking about a group of men, a group of women, if you're talking about a group of men in the past tense, and so on and so on. So with Spanish, I kind of understand the rules a little bit better, like the grammar, because I do think English, I would say English is more
easier.
It is
right?
easier, but sometimes I think there's no rules. So sometimes it's like you just have to remember that this is how you say a word because there's not actually any rule to it. Like there are certain words that they sound exactly the same, but they're spelled different for no reason.
Because, for example, in English, it's not like you have to decide if it is a male or female. Like it's just table. It's just door. We say la mesa, la puerta.
But I think they add a lot of words in between. Like I will go to the table. Like they is that part. I don't know the grammatic word for it.
But yeah, I mean depends. You can say, for example, I'm gonna go. I am going to the table, or I'm gonna go to the table. Gonna go to the table. Like 3 different ways to say it. You know, like.
But in Spanish, how would you say this? Like, do you have the word for the? Like,
voy a la mesa. Voy
a la mesa. So la means the, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But listen, this is I think difficult when you are learning a new language at the beginning and you are learning like every single word, like I am going to the table. That's the first thing that you learn. Then I'm gonna go to the table. And then when you see a reel of people just speaking the language, you say, gonna go to the table. And then you learn just the first one, and then you don't recognize the last one. You need to learn 3 or 4 ways to say it, and it's the same.
See, it's just even like aprender, we aprendo, aprendes, how do you say like this one? Like
Aprendemos.
aprendemos, that's the one I always forget.
Yeah.
But Spanish is a very good language. English, I think, is fun as well. Arabic is like a whole different world to me, but one day I will learn.
Mhm. But anyways, I mean, every language, I think that it has their own challenges. Uh, but it's funny. I mean, if you have the passion and you are patient to learn them, uh, you will.
Do you plan on learning any more languages?
I was learning like 2 years ago. I said I wanna become fluent in German, so I just starting
Oh, German.
starting some verbs
I think I
like
just know danke.
Dankeschön,
Dankeschön. Ich liebe
Dankeschön.
dich. Just I love you. And
Ale it's kind of the same like English because I think that English came from German because Basa is like WASS thing ER or something like that. Kind of similar to water. Basa. I ich trinke Wasser, trinke like a drink,
sí.
agua. So there are some phrases similar, but not the same language. For example, all is good in English, in Spanish, and in German is alles gut. Oh, alles gut. Like
That's
all
actually
is good.
interesting.
Mhm.
Because I actually see some similarities sometimes between Spanish and Polish.
Oh,
That's why certain la biblioteca, you have that word in
mhm.
Spanish. That's what we say in Polish, but in English you would just say library, or you would just say like a bookstore.
Uh-huh.
But biblioteca is literally the same exact word in Polish. There are a lot of words in Spanish that are the same exact words in Polish, and I think it's because they both stem from Latin, but I'm not 100% sure. So it's,
Maybe yes.
yeah, there are certain words I would recognize. I was like, oh, that's because in Polish it's the same thing.
I wanna recommend you a friend of mine who is from Poland. That I told you. I have a friend. She learned English in Poland. She traveled to London to practice her
Mm.
English for a while, for some months, I think. And then she come back to Poland, and then she decided to go to Spain because of the culture, because she wanted to learn another language. And then when she was when she was in Spain, she realized that she didn't know how to speak Spanish. When I had a teacher in Poland, she thought that she was fluent in Spanish. And then she said like in Spain they say like oh cariño, like cariño, but she used to say cariña like for female. It's
And it's
strange.
because
Like
yes,
cariño is male, female. Like it doesn't matter what is it.
but I think as well, I think sometimes you will remember the grammar rules of like another language and you will apply it to another language, sometimes subconsciously. So you have to kind of like untrain yourself as well. Because I think the languages, the rules are so different in each of the languages, you know?
And then now she's fluent. She is fluent in English. She teaches Spanish to Poland people.
Wow.
Yes.
I love that. No,
Yeah.
that is good. That's an
But it's
achievement.
crazy. It's like her. I mean, her story is kind of like me. Like I learned English and then I decided, oh, I love it. Now I wanna teach it. Now she decided to learn Spanish. Living in Spain, she realized that her English was not enough to speak it in the country, and then she learned more, and now she teaches English to Poland people because her family is from Poland. Yeah.
I know I've seen some people they've learned like 5, 6, 7 languages. Like some people they really do take it like all the way. You know, I think they fall in love with the languages. But I would if I could easily learn the languages. I think my main obviously English, Spanish, French, just because of like how many people speak these languages. But then also Arabic, Farsi, which is Persian, but that's just because of my roots. But Arabic, Russian, and Mandarin. Those would be like, if I could learn those, I feel like the whole world would open up to me, really.
So do you think that in England is more like French and English?
What do you mean?
What are those languages that you can listen more in?
Um,
French?
French, I don't understand French. Not really. I just know je n'ai pas de stylo, which means I don't have a pen, which is what I learned in school, all I remember. But do you mean like if it sounds similar to English?
No, like when you are in the streets, when you see
Oh
people.
no, it's because so much countries like Africa, for example, so much countries they speak French. So in a lot of like the Arabic countries they speak French as well. I think a lot of travelers, I think like the main languages people speak is like English, Spanish, French, German. Here I notice so many French people they come here, so many German people come here. Like it's like a familiar language, I think.
Mhm.
So I don't it wouldn't be my priority. I would love to learn Arabic and like Chinese, Mandarin, but that's like a different alphabet. That's just a whole different language.
It's totally different. It's not the same. Like at least when you are learning like Spanish or English, you realize
Same
it's the same
alphabet.
letter.
See,
Same,
see.
yeah, that's
Different
right.
accents, but same
But
letter.
same, exactly. No, like Arabic. No,
You have
like
to learn to read from this side, and then Chinese is a whole different. It's beautiful, though. I do think it's beautiful, and also I love poetry. So any like language I can learn that I can then read their poetry, that is like the most nicest thing I think. So once I can read Spanish poetry, then I know I'm learning.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank you.
all this time with you, for sharing your experience in languages. I love it. Is there something that would you like to share? Something else that you said, oh, I didn't want to finish this interview without
No,
saying
I
this.
I just wanted to say that I really enjoy what you're doing. I think it's amazing. Like it's good, put your thoughts out there and actually put it out there so that people can connect, because there can be people that you don't even know they're in the same situation. They want to learn other languages and they can actually find your videos and be like, okay, I'm not alone in this. And I do really enjoy the guidance. So I think if you have a course coming out or anything like that, please let me know. But yeah, this is very enjoyable.
Thank you so much. Well,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much to you guys for being
Thank
here,
you.
listening, and this information, the interview, the her experience, and also how you have been noticed the difference between the Mexican culture and your own culture during this time in Mexico. That's great. I mean, it can help us to see what is your vision, what is your point of view when you are from a different place that is not our place, but also saying thank you to you for accept the interview with me, even though that we met like a few minutes ago, and she decided to do it. Thank you so much.
So thank you.
So thank you so much because hopefully one day we can do it again in another place
Yes, that would be amazing.
and just recognize that we were able to do it here.
Maybe the next time the interview will be in Spanish.
Yeah, that she's learning Spanish, so I hopefully after many lessons that she is learning, that she's learning a lot. She's so focused with what she's doing, and I hope you can learn some advisements from her, from us, and just use it as a tool because everything is a tool. Just you have to be focused, you have to repeat it, and don't be afraid of the mistakes that you are gonna have in the future. And that's it. Thank you so much for being here, and see you in the next video with another interview. Okay, bye bye.
Bye.